I grew up in New York and I graduated from Long Island University, a bachelor's in nursing, and then I went on to Fordham University for graduate work in social work, so that I understood psychology a bit more. And my field that I worked in was mental health, behavioral health, and detoxes. It fit perfectly. I loved it. I loved it. I still love it. I'm divorced now. I had a house on Long Island, very nice neighborhood, out on the North Shore, a town called Mount Sinai. I worked, and we were, a family. And then, life goes on. Years later, I wound up, the wife and I got divorced, and we went our separate ways, and I just went forward from there. I mean, my kids are in my life. Even my ex is in my life, you know. I'm still dad, and I'm still granddad. On April the 10th of '07, I was in a minor car accident. I was only going 10 miles an hour, and I was strapped in. Somebody cut me off, and I hit the curb, and my airbag deployed. And when it did, it ruptured my spleen, tore my liver, and I got a massive head injury. The accident happened on the 10th. I didn't wake up until the 14th. And I was pretty confused about what had happened. Because of the severity, later on I wound up not being able to really sustain a job. I tried to go back to work after healing a bit, and it just wasn't the same. I was having flashbacks from the accident, and I think, I would get startled if somebody dropped something. I wound up losing a job. Then, of course, I had no money. After I went through the insurance money, I didn't have an income, and I wound up losing my apartment and became homeless for the very first time in my life. It was the scariest day I've ever had in a long time. I didn't know what to expect. I'm not a street person. I'm not street smart at all. I wound up at the shelter on Court Street for the veteran homeless. And at that point I was so depressed, I really didn't want to live. And I think at times I tried to drink myself to death. I didn't see a future. I didn't see anything. Slowly but surely, I talked to counselors there, and I began to feel a bit better. I connected with my therapist at the VA and my medical doctor and my psychiatrist. And all of that put together really helped me a lot. When I finally got kind of like stabilized and not using any substance and treating my depression, I began to heal a bit, and I began to cope a little bit better. It took a long time. I was at that place for 14 months. And during that time, went through a process of getting a place to live. That's scary. I didn't know where I wanted to be or what I wanted to do. And everybody was going different places, Charlestown, Roxbury, And somehow, I knew that wasn't for me. But somebody, just very casually, had mentioned Bolton Manor. And I was like, where was that? Where is that? And eventually, even though I was scared, I found the building. I walked up here. I met the staff here, Teresa, Patrick. I found out that there was space available and that I qualified. But the thing that really helped me was they really listened to me. You know, they really made me feel comfortable. And I continued to go through the process and followed Teresa's lead and met with Patrick. And then I went through Boston Housing, and it can be very slow, but I began to be patient. You know, I didn't want to allow myself to get frustrated. Not everybody in the world is happy to see you succeed. You know, I had a lot of people, instead of encouraging me, telling me, you know, all negative things. But I wasn't hearing that. And finally the date came up, and I couldn't believe I was going to leave that place. I moved in. Anything that I needed, any questions that I had, you know, I thought they were stupid questions, but you know, the staff let me know that they weren't stupid questions. You know, the only thing stupid is not asking the question. And in the long and the short of it, this is probably the best living situation I've ever had. So all of that injury and being homeless and being scared and hurt, after almost 2 years of being frightened, I got a home. I have a home, you know, and this is where I'm healing even more. You know, sometimes I just giggle to myself because I can't believe I'm here. It's wonderful. I wake up and I don't wish I was dead. I'm glad I'm alive, and I wake up in a safe environment. I love it. You know, it's kind of like I wake up and I look around and I go, I'm back. You know, and I know that there are people right in the building that will keep me safe no matter what. Now I'm 63. I don't think I've ever felt better in my life, emotionally and physically. Every day isn't a bright, sunny day. I don't believe that there are any happy days. I have wonderful moments, you know, and when I put all those together, that makes life much more bearable.